Hey, excuse me. Should have did all this before I went live. I'm sorry, y'all. I haven't been on social media. I haven't been on my YouTube page in quite some time. I set the page up and trying to learn how to learn YouTube. I want to be content creator, and right now I'm like a shell of myself. So therefore, that's why I haven't really started. I started some, but I kind of because I was trying to learn, then got caught up into what this conversation, what this video is about tonight. I came live and I tagged all those that I'm subscribed to. So the ones that I know that's strong on YouTube, and I enjoy watching their content. The people I watch YouTube every day. Whenever I'm watching TV, 99% of the time it's YouTube, and it's the people who I tagged in this video, hoping maybe they'll spread the word of this message tonight. It's a cry for help, actually, and I'm not playing. I'm serious. Y'all seen the title of it? I'm talking about this scandal in housing in Baltimore City, and those folks that you seen, Brandon Scott, the mayor. Some people I didn't. You see HUD, you see HABC. I tagged in it. I put in the title. You see HABC, that's the Housing Authority of Baltimore City. You see Telisis, that's the people that owns the property that I live in. You see CT Group, that's the people that was managing the property up until the beginning of this year. And you see Trek, the company that took over management after that company, the other company supposedly left. But it's some bull crap. And I'm mad, man. I'm angry. I've been fighting these people. So there's a scandal going in here. Where I live at is for people that has for seniors and people that has disabilities. And so it, like myself, I'm 57 years old. I got some physical ailments and stuff, but I ain't that, at this point, I'm still living my life. But my mental health is my disability. And I have PTSD. I've been living where I live at for about 16 years now. And I've been in housing for about 16 years. I had no intentions on being here this long. After my last job, I was having issues, physical issues and stuff with the work that I was doing. I was a trained cook. That was my profession for a long time, but then damage to my hands. They suggested I find something else to do. I'm a 3-time felon. Changed my life when I was 37. I'm 57. Well, I'll be 58 the 28th of June. And so I moved in here. I came into housing because I figured I knew I was disabled. Even when I was working, I was disabled. And but I continued to work. I really don't. My thing is I don't want to mess with disability. I don't want to mess with disability. I really want to, because I want to work until I can't no more. Especially in my case, because I lived a life of crime for so long. I didn't pay a whole lot of taxes, so I didn't get a whole lot of disability, right? And plus, even if it did, it just wouldn't, not the life I want to live for the rest of my life. I'm a 57, but I'm still, I believe in my prime. I'm a college student. I was working on my bachelor's degree, so that was my thing. I was using this time to be here to be able to afford to live with the lower income. So I'm living here for the subsidies, and I'm going to school online with the hopes of becoming a chaplain. I want my degree, and I'm Christian education, and I want to become a chaplain in corrections. I'm a 3-time felon. I've done several bits, and I've done. I'm a preacher's kid, so normally every time I went to prison, I got my life together in prison. And I would wind up in ministry in prison and stuff. So I'm one of them dudes, go to prison and become the model citizen, and doing ministry and stuff like that. But then, when I would get out, it would be the drugs. Because I was a heroin addict. I was sniffing heroin up until I was 37. And then when I got clean, I vowed to give back. I got in a 12-step program, and they one of the things that's big in our steps is making amends to society, to institutions, to families, to friends, to people. You know what I mean? And it's a lifetime process for us, that amends process. But one of the things we was taught was to go back and build up that we tore down. So that was my goal. That's been my goal since I changed my life. And then, like I said, and so always been volunteering, doing community activism and things like that. And, different organizations that I worked in and stuff. A lot of volunteer. And the thing is, I'm like I said, I'm a 3-time felon. And so I ain't gonna say you can't get a job, but it becomes difficult. And you got to put a lot more work in. The thing is, it's been a long time for me now since I've been in trouble. It's been 25 years, so I'm working on the pardon, actually. But, the thing is, anyway, so I committed my life to serving this community, serving this city. Was a police chaplain, a volunteer police chaplain. It was after the Freddie Gray riots. I was active in the protests, the riots. I was, trying to keep the peace. Then that's how I became a chaplain. I literally stood between the police and the rioters. Literally stood between them. And I was volunteering in the kids' safe zone because we were trying to help the kids down in Penn North community after the riots. And I was active in that part of Foxhole Fraternal Order ex-offenders, and we was helping other ex-offenders, going out in the community, and then doing other, we would go into the schools. That's one of the, I used to speak in the schools. I ordained ministry. I've preached in church, served preachers as their armor bearers, been a senior elder in the church, been the one key holder for a church. I've supervised security companies. So yeah, and this all after I changed my life. But searching though, so searching, still trying to, and then eventually I got to the point where those type of jobs that I was getting, what we would call good jobs in the hood, that they weren't going to be suffice for me wanting a wife. $20 an hour ain't going to take care of me in the home. I'm struggling, I was struggling $20 an hour by myself, definitely. Now, but so now the goal is to finish school and go back to work. But then, so COVID hit, and I wound up getting long-term side effects. And I had a 3.95 GPA, a senior with 1 semester left when I started failing classes, man. That was after I caught COVID. And after failing the second class, I knew, because I hadn't failed a class since I've been in school. And I knew something wasn't right. And then eventually that's when I learned about long haul side effects. And, so it affects your cognitive skills and your memory and stuff like that. And I'm a pretty smart guy, but I be struggling trying to remember and concentrating. And like I'll read a page and can't even remember what I just read. I love to read, and I still read all the time. And because I'm trying to get, my functions back, right? So I gotta keep my brain functioning. So now I'm starting to play like dominoes and stuff, really, which you really have to think. And I'm great, get me a chessboard. I don't even like playing chess, but I know how to play. Now I'm not skilled, don't get me wrong. I know how to play the game. I know how to move. I know the rules. So I'm gonna get a chessboard so I can start using my brain, because that's what they're saying I need to do. And I have been trying to get my head right to get back in school. And then even decided that I was, going to go back to therapy and stuff, because I had been after, all with the school and COVID and stuff, I wasn't right because you know, that the isolation affected me mentally and physically. And being though I already have a chemical imbalance, it just messed me all up. Yeah. And then after that, man, it's back to why I'm here, the scandal now. God daggone where I live at, like at first the city owned the property. It wasn't bad at all. But they decided they need to remodel the property in Baltimore City. Since they don't manage their funds right, they ain't get the funds to remodel the buildings, but they had to be HUD mandated that they be. So they came up with some scandal called RAG, where the private realtors come in and take the properties over and hire management companies. And so that's what they did here. The owner, Telisis, they abandoned as well. Matter of fact, listen, this thing crazy. The owners, like we have an MOU where the owner's supposed to have a relationship with the our tenant association, our tenant council. And there's an MOU that has certain guidelines. There's monies involved. So that you all already know there's monies involved. That's what the scandal is about. And okay, see, I seen it just freeze up. There's money's involved, and that's what the scandal is about. There's several money scandals going on, but there's one that's definitely crime. You know, no way, shape about it. You know, they committing crimes, and the thing is, everybody and their mother been made aware. So they, like I said, and where it started, you know, I seen they started just treating us any kind of way. And the thing is, and I ain't really realized, my lawyer said to me today, she's like, Mr. Cam, I know you big on your rights. And I was like, and I am. I thought about what she said, and I am big on my rights. And I know, and now there was some revelation for me today, because I'd be like, I don't understand why my neighbors like they are, because it's like nobody else, they okay with going on. And I don't understand it, but the thing is, I don't know. I know I'm different. I know so when people call me weird, I don't get upset. I accept it because I'm different. You know, most y'all know them. I ain't know them. I'm different. So I don't take weird as an insult. And so yeah, man. They started violating our rights. Like we had these rights that, because here's the thing, even though with the program, even though it's now private owners and private managed, the city is still involved, because the funds still come from HUD. You know, that's where the subsidies come from. And that's who paid the rest. That we pay partial, and HUD pays the rest. So HUD got the money. So the thing is, we still get to live under, supposedly. Let me say that. Supposedly, according to the law. Yeah, the law. We supposed to live under the same rights and privileges that everyone else in house, and protections that everybody else in housing get. But that ain't, well, I don't know how many. It's crazy. Housing in Baltimore City is crazy. So and the thing is, because I've been protesting, I'm finding out more and more, and more people beginning to know we up here protesting. Well, mostly me, but I have neighbors that help. Because most places, what I'm finding out, the guys that's fighting back have absolutely nobody. Some places there's some that stand up to the criminals, but have absolutely nobody in the building to help them. And I can identify, because I don't have many. Then some of my neighbors, they go help the criminals. And you got those, yeah, they ain't gonna do that. They think they weren't gonna do it to them until we realized they did it to them. Yeah. So they the woman, they did this crazy, they remodeled, they put trash in here. They remodeled and put trash in here. They spent very little, as little as they could, but to remodel. And it's been like 6 years now, maybe 7, and every goddamn thing going down. The HVAC units, done. Most of them don't work no more. There was some that they put in that never worked. When they put them in, and one of them was right outside my door. And it was 5 years. I complained about that thing. And so that was more recent, you know what I mean? They changed it. But I'm going to tell you, in that, then I found out that one of my neighbors she told me because I started protesting. I bucked on them. And so my neighbors been started when I started protesting, then my neighbors started coming and tell me what they was doing to them. Because see, I started protesting because they was violating our rights. And that's what I was talking about earlier when I said my lawyer said something to me, and it kind of was a revelation for me after I started thinking about that. Because she was like, Mr. Burton, I know how important your rights is, but I'm going to need you to calm it down and maybe go away for the weekend or something, because I popped off this morning. And I'll get more to that, but that's why she was saying that. And she called me and got me to calm down. And anyway, because everybody else, I wouldn't even answer the phone. I seen a lawyer call, answer the phone. Lawyer call, you gonna answer the phone? I don't know. I cut the goddamn live. I stopped it because I was on Facebook Live. I stopped it for her. Anyway, so yeah, man. So then I started the violating our rights. Oh, back to what the lawyer was saying. So she was like, Mr. Burton, I know how important your rights is, but I'm gonna need you to tone it down some. You know what I mean? And then I thought about it later today, and I'm like, yeah, my rights is very important to me. And I thought about maybe I never explained to why. If you ever lost your rights, and then you're able to get them back, that's a beautiful thing. But they become important to you then. Now, there's one right that I still don't have. And I want it back. As far as I know, it's one more. That's the right to carry. And I need a pardon for that. And I've done enough to do it. I just need the time to be able to put the request in. But I've been fooling with this for the last 2 years, man, with fighting with the management companies and HABC and City Hall, all this, yeah, man. Cause so then like I said, so I started protesting because like we supposed to be able to meet together as residents. We have a tenant council board, but they took over the board. They took over the board and there's monies that come with the board. So it's always about the money. And there's a couple streams of funds that comes to the residents by way of the board. But you gotta have a board, gotta have a council or resident council. See, it's a ramp board down there that you can be under, or we can have our own thing called it's a resident association, union, whatever you want to call it, but it's for the tenants. But it has to be organized in a certain way and ran in a certain way to be acknowledged. And but that's what we do. I've been living here 15 years, and I've helped them in so many ways. Been on the board before. They've been trying to get me to be the president since I've been here, but I'm full-time student and doing all these things. I'm like, look, I can't commit to that, and I don't take on stuff that I know I don't have the time to do. So that's just, I'll have a form. They be upset with me, but at least they'll respect me for it, hopefully. But anyway, yeah, so they started not letting us, like, we got a community room downstairs. It's like they try to treat us like we in jail now. She wouldn't let us go in the community room. They won't let us meet. Like I said, so they took over the board. So that means they took the money. They took over the money. Then the girl they put in place, she moved out during so because we started protesting. Neighbors proposed, and the reason I started protesting was I knew they were stealing. I knew they were stealing. I knew because once I started protesting, see, I knew they didn't want us to talk. That's the thing. They like the way it is around here. Everybody sitting around talking about each other. But what I've been doing, and what the board allows is for them to call everybody to come talk to each other. But they don't want that. The only time they will allow us to come together, and that's a grown folks, yeah, allow. The only time they will allow us to come together is if they running the meeting. But that ain't how it's supposed to be. We supposed to come together, and they ain't even invited unless we invite them. And we can invite who we want. That's how it's supposed to be. We only see, the thing is, it's like a catch-22. They can't deny us of using it, but we gotta schedule it through them. So now they just go hard. They just stop letting us use it. And I bucked. I started protesting. That was last year. Started protesting. And then as I started protesting, that's when my neighbors started coming to me talking about them taking their money. But they weren't literally taking it. They just was coming to them talking about, you owe me. You give them a letter and telling them they owe them. But they ain't telling them why. The neighbor couldn't understand why, because they paid their rent. And but it's like, what? It's something you ain't paid back, such and such. And it's like when they do it, so what it is, and I discovered this, like I found it, but didn't know what I found until I was telling the lawyer what I found. And the lawyer say, oh, that's the late fee scam. And when she said it, because I had discovered what it was, I just didn't know that was actually the name, because I said that. I said, they scamming on the late fee scam. They scamming on the late fees. And she said, oh, that's the late fee scam. We've been investigating that for years. It's everywhere in Baltimore. Yeah, she from Maryland Disability Rights. It's everywhere in Baltimore. And she said, but I'm going to flag the building, because I can do that because we know this thing is a problem. But see, the lawyers and everybody working on it, but they only got but so much power, so much authority. They can help individuals. And so when I started protesting, these folks, they come at me, and then you trying to charge me as if I was breaking the law. I was protesting, yeah, and I went hard, but I was also very clear that I was protesting. You know what I mean? And why? And eventually, so they call the police and all that stuff. That's what they do. Like I said, I was a police chaplain, so I know I have the right to protest. That's the thing. We have the right to protest. It's just that it has to be done in the right manner. And the thing was, man, the chick. So when I started protesting, after we started, so I got this chair. I had this chair, this double-seated recliner that I bought. The chair, as far as the cushions and everything, was perfect, but the shell wore out fast and it was peeling. And so I'm gonna get rid of the chair, but before I throw it away, I sit in the hallway and I put a sign on it. Anybody want it? Because that's, because it's a lot of people that come in here with nothing. And so we kind of look out for us, because we know one man's treasure is another man's treasure. And then, because a dude that ain't got no chair, actually, because there's, I've seen people where all they had was like a mattress in their apartment. So a chair, whether it's a good chair or not, is a chair for them. And so I don't just throw stuff straight out. I see if my neighbors want it. And I'm always looking out for my neighbors. I've been doing that since I've been here. I feed them. I go out and get resources and food and everything and bring it back and give it away to them. That's what I do. I don't sell them nothing. My clothes, if I don't sell them nothing. And because they sell everything, but I ain't, I give it away. But anyway, even the goddamn staff used to come get the stuff. See, not the ones here, the other criminal staff. Well, they still here. Well, some of them. Anyway, it's crazy. So, the girl, found out, because my neighbors was coming to me, telling me they was taking from them and stuff. So I started protesting, and I started saying very loudly, they up here stealing. They committing embezzlement. I'm on social media, everything. And the thing was, when I put that chair out there, she come knock on my door with 4 people with this write-up. And the dude out there putting gloves on. And that's that. It triggered me. It triggered me. And then the write-up was about the chair. Like, and the thing was, she had came up earlier that morning about the chair. And I told her, I said, I'm giving the chair away. And she was like, well, you got to have it out of here by the end of the day. I say, okay, you got my word. It's gone by the end of the day. Now, that was in the morning. And then like 11, 12, something like that, a couple hours later, she come knocking on my door, handing me some write-up. I'm like, I thought you said, I said, you said end of the day. She was like, well, that changed when I found out it was sent there last night. Oh, okay. And so then I went in, sat down, typed up the letter, wrote her up, took it down there to her, and they wouldn't accept it. They wouldn't take it. They wouldn't sign it, which they can't do. Legally, they violated my rights when they did that. They can't deny us, and because there's a grievance process, and they can't, it's a legal process. They can't deny you that process. If they do, they violating your rights. But that's these people, what I discovered, and the people that come, these folks, they don't care nothing about your rights. They don't, and we learning, like me and my neighbors, we learning to stop using the word they can't do that, because they do what they want to do. And like the lawyers and the politicians and stuff, they be like, they can't do that. I'm like, oh really? That I can't tell. I'm like, they may not supposed to do it, but they do it. And whatever you can think of, just imagine sleep with the patient, the client, the residents, the manager. She gone now. So we bucked. I bucked, and eventually got somehow Mark Conway's office, because I went on social media and started talking, and they started sending me the cease and desist letters. And I'm telling my lawyer, tell them don't even worry about sending them, because I ain't shutting up. You know what I mean? So whatever. And the thing is, because see, I'm the difference between me and them. I'm so serious about them rights that I'm willing to die or go to jail for them. So I'm serious about my rights. And see, I don't know if they're willing to sacrifice for what they're doing, but I'm willing to sacrifice. And I was willing to sacrifice myself today, because I'm tired of this bull crap that we got going on in here, and nobody want to come help us. And then folks trying to act like they doing something, but all they doing is covering it up, like we stupid. And then the people that's supposed to help us is the ones that's coming after me with them. And so everybody pockets is getting greased around here. Hey, that's what the problem is. Everybody pockets is getting greased by these corporations that's running the buildings. And so they won't mess with them. They be in here stealing from the daggone residents and doing all types of things. And then, the all out of code, all that, man. And it was supposed to have been set up. The program's supposed to have been set up where if they wasn't doing right, they could get the property back. Matter of fact, last year, the city hall told me they took the property back. So I don't know if they took it back and the people wound up getting it back or something, if there was a court struggle, but if so, they lied to us about it. But I'm trying to figure out what's going on with these politicians. I figured out what's going on up here. God daggone crooks. It's a late fee scam. And so the woman, I knew the woman was stealing, so I bucked and I started saying they stealing. And I went on social media, everything, like I said. So they send the lawyers at me, letter termination lease. But the difference is with me and my neighbors, I ain't scared to get put out of here. That's the thing. Now I can't just move and, but then again, if I got some family that's gonna give me a sofa, so I ain't. But this ain't the Wisconsin. My plan was to be out of here a long time ago, but I'm still here, and I'm grateful for it because of the substance. It allowed me to be able to keep functioning and keep trying and striving, even as I'm having these crises and trials and stuff. But yet keep trying to push. But I'm getting the heck out of here. That was always my plan. But I got a lot of neighbors, man, They ain't trying to go nowhere. Some of them been here 40 years, so 80 years old. She ain't trying to have to move nowhere. You got them, some of them, they be struggling to live by themselves because, then don't want caregivers and all that, but they be determined that they ain't they ain't moving no more. They going, and I get it. So they the ones I fight for, man. And the ones, because some of these jokers, man, I want to beat up myself. They get slick with me, interfere with me, but won't buck on, won't do nothing, won't come into meetings, then talk crap to me. I'm trying to organize and fight back, and they in there about some bull crap, man. And I be wanting to drag these, want to be gangsters. It's all the dudes my age. The young boys, they love me. Oh, they got my back. The women, they cool, they good. It's these got that going. The women is the ones that help me, of course. If my main man here, double leg amputee in a chair. Ron used to be our used to be the board president when we actually had one, and he was my fishing buddy. You know what I mean? And then he lost his second leg. He was a single leg, but still able to walk and stuff. Then he lost his second leg, and he go dialysis 3 days a week. And I be dragging him because I be like, man, I need somebody with me. I need some help. And then I need them to see somebody else besides me, thinking I'm the only one that's talking about what's going on in here. And that's been part of the problem. They use intimidation. They got my neighbors scared. They be afraid to go to jail and afraid to get put out, stuff like that, man. There's people that's come here straight from homelessness, straight from literally the city use it. See, that's the thing, because the city, that's how they connect it. There's the part of the connection is the city send the people that come here. Yeah, they for the people to get in here, they got to come through the city. So that's why there's still that connection. And the city will use it to get people off the streets. And I love that. I wish they would send them into a program first, and for 6-7 months let them, but they don't. So and it'd be rough. That's a whole nother story. I'm talking about this. And so anyway, told y'all my memory and cognitive skills. I'm a shell of myself. So that's why I really haven't been. Really trying to mess. That ain't the only thing, because I've been too busy messing with this and half crazy. That's why I haven't been trying to build this page. But anyway, so Mark Conway's office got involved. There was a couple delegates got involved. We had the meeting. It was a bull crap meeting, because we should have nipped it in the bud or quite near it after that meeting, but it didn't go right. Our councilman supposed to have been at the meeting, but the day before he called me and told me he wasn't going to be able to make it. And he sends his director, Bennett Angel, and one of the directors and another, his chief of staff or something, to sit in. And then the delegates came in virtually, housing came in virtually. The management company, they tried to bring a lawyer in, but if we wasn't accepting that, especially the delegates. And then they supposed to been there virtually, but they was on video, on audio. Just they asked them, was they there? They said, yeah, we ain't hear nothing else from them. They didn't even have to speak, because me and Angela Cameron, we beefing, because she was the one at first. She's gone out the picture now, but she was the one, and she's over top. She's like the top person over this program, over affordable housing. Is one other person over top of her. And so anyway, she because it was like she was protecting them and covering it up for them and coming after me with them. I know that for a fact. Facts. But she and I kind of apologized to each other, because I was rough when I was manic, man. But that's the thing, because the last time, and I'm there now. I was gone this morning though, because they didn't trigger and the last time I was manic, that was the first time I ever been manic before I was diagnosed with PTSD. But like I said, I've been rehab. I've been working on me, you know what I mean? But then that freaking COVID, and then these people, that it triggered something in me, and I was gone, but in protesting and running around the city and everything, down City Hall, Brandon Scott looking out the window at me and my neighbors in the 100 degrees. Send somebody down there to bring me in to talking about, what about my neighbor? Like, we can't accommodate them. I'm like, well, I'm not sitting in here talking to y'all in the air. Why? No, I ain't that type of dude. So I'm very protective of my neighbors, y'all. So let me say that. And I got a belief system. And I'm a Christian man. I ain't a perfect Christian, but I'm a real Christian. I follow my Lord. And my Lord gave me, he said, here, you really want to follow the commandments? Do these two. Love God and love your neighbor like it's you. Yeah, and so that's what I try to do. I try to do that on a daily. I try to get that on right. And everything else I give myself grace for. And I've been needing it. Yeah, man, so God daggone ant done crawled on the screen. Ants, yeah. At least I thank God ain't mice. I got neighbors, they got mice. I ain't got them. I thank God they when they remodeled, they saw where they was coming in at and closed the hole. I thank God. And I be telling them, everybody mask the holes in the walls, just close the holes, but they won't come around and do the necessary work. And some of my neighbors, their apartments is literally infested with mice. The building infested. I just thank God I ain't got them, man. I'd have left. That would have ran me out of here. I can't do mice. The roaches, I had them. I got rid of them, and they ain't been back. My neighbor next door said he got mice. Well, at least the one that used to live there. I haven't asked the one that lived there now. The one with the two boys that ain't supposed to be in here. That's been here, that's been here several years now. Because he wound up right after he moved in for domestic, for personal family reasons. He wound up with custody of his two children from his marriage. Well, all three of them, but two boys, two I don't know what they call them, tweens. No, not, they ain't even teens, tweens, I guess. They 10, 11. And then he had a teenage girl, but she gone stay with her brother while the two boys stay with the father. And, so ever since they came, the father been trying to get them to move them. It's what they supposed to do. And that's what they do. They don't let kids stay in. You have kids in here. I mean, they'll be in here shortly, but you can't, it ain't for children. And so they move them out. They found them someplace else. And for some reason, they would not move, dude. And I couldn't understand it because I've been here 15 years. And I'll be telling them, I don't get it with you, man. Something going on. I said, they got to be getting some extra money from you. Some kind of way. Got to be about the money. And I was telling him that for like a year. I've been saying that. But then, so Mark Conway, after that meeting and stuff, they in housing authority, they knew they found that something was going on. They still ain't been transparent with us and say why they actually moved, because they moved the management company out. Well, I know why, but they ain't said nothing to us because they ain't going to tell us it was a 52 fake out. But they moved them out. But then when the new people come, we find out they hire everybody. The same goddamn gonna staff. But the one woman, the main woman, the manager, she didn't want to stay here. Of course not. But part of the reasons they say, you never know what, but they say she had retirement time with the company that was there. So she chose to stay with that company. But in order to do so, she had to leave. And everybody else chose to go with the new company. And so the criminal has gone to rob and steal from somebody else at another building somewhere. And they bring in this new management company. And then the new management company come in doing the same thing, literally. And then the new manager, this girl, give me 1 second, y'all, that he kicked on, and I definitely can't do that. I'm sorry, give me a second. So yeah, so I forgot what I was saying. So I was talking about my neighbor, yeah, and his boys. So anyway, they moved the lady out, the new company. So CT Group leaves. Telisis owns it. CT Group was managing it back then when they had the late fee scam going on. Yeah, we discovered just like Friday that there was a late fee scam going on, and I was the one that found it because I be reading, I read everything, and I keep everything, and I've been fighting with these people since they've been here, literally. So I got all types of stuff, all these papers. It's unreal. But and then I've read everything, man. All the housing, the laws, and all that stuff, and the MOUs we have, the bylaws, and I know my lease better than the management company because they clearly don't know it because they don't follow it. They only want us to follow it. They don't have to follow it. So they think they stopped breaking the lease as soon as they came in. Telisis CT Group 7 years ago, as soon as they come in, they start breaking the lease. You like simple things, little things like we supposed to get 2 keys, they give us 1. I challenge them on that. So they go change it in the lease. Then I challenge them on that because they supposed to give us a 30-day notice before they change anything in there. So they took that out. But I suspect they not supposed to take that out though, because I'm sure HUD mandates, because there's some stuff that HUD it has to be there. But because nobody looks at it no more, nobody comes here, there's no oversight. They do what they want to do. And see, before, when they first started this, there used to be oversight. And they was filing an MOU. We used to have meetings with the owners. So it was one of the owners that I challenged with their thing. It was one of the owners. They used to actually come here. And the legal aid was working with our tenant board and stuff like that. The RAD board worked with us, and we had our funds coming in. We could do function and trainings. They could go on trips, and it would pay for like our supplies and stuff, paper, ink, those type of things. If we want to have a party out back, we can. There was some fun that we could do stuff like that with. Educational things, there was funds we could do those things with, but they took all that, and now, and like funds still coming in, we got a vending machine. So let me back. I'm jumping all around. Let me back up. So CT Group, they gone. Trek come in. There's a manager that been here about 3 months that has not met with the residents. If you don't go in that office and meet her, you don't get to meet her. She don't mess with us. And it's about me, though, because the thing is, they tried to evict me, but I fought back. And see, that's the thing. Nobody ever fights them. They just let them do it, and people just let them put them out. And then, some people don't even make them take them to court, put them. Then, oh, Lord, I found out a week ago, last year, I can't even remember who the neighbor is, but they saying that my neighbors are saying that they just locked him out and put him out. Just wouldn't let him come back in his apartment and then put his stuff out until the courts got involved. But I'm like, they can't do that. They can't lock that man out. They got to wait and put him out when the sheriff come. But that ain't what they do. It's wicked. And remember, it's seniors and disabled that they're doing this to. And so anyway, they bring these new people, supposed to be new people, and they doing the same exact thing. They won't let us meet. They get the money coming in, but they won't tell us where it's going. Then I tried to organize and put a council together. And there's we supposed to be able to have a tenant council with independently. And so I just tried to put the independent council together. And the thing is, I told you I work with Maryland Disability Rights. That's who's represent me. And they also, they came in, I invited them in, they come in and do trainings, but nobody came to the meeting. It was a party the day before. Everybody went to the party the day before, but nobody came to the meeting when they came in to teach them about their rights. And, that's who my neighbors are. I know that's who they are, but with this, and now with this situation, it is frustrating because it's like I'm almost there, but nobody won't. I gotta take his and out. You would think because I fought back and then got them out of here, that they see that you can actually stand up for yourself, but they still scared, and they still now these people still doing the same thing. Won't let us meet. And then they really, and what they doing, they trying to use the fact that we got it. Because the thing is, when they came after me, trying to evict me, the lawyer took and she asked to move it. So because I've been with the court, and usually it's settled, you know. But she moved it, and because I went to court in October and been waiting to go back. I want to get this over with. Been waiting to go back, but we ain't got a court date. And but she filed a counterclaim after they came after me, and then violated my rights and all that. She filed a counterclaim, and so when the new people come in, because she filed a counterclaim, now they come after me. Now they want to continue what the other people doing, trying to get rid of me, and they be lying. I'm telling my clients. I mean, my neighbors, if they are lying, because they lied to the lawyer, because my lawyer communicate with their lawyer. So my lawyer go by what they tell their lawyer. But clearly they lied to their lawyer. And so it's difficult when you got somebody that got some power and stuff like that, and they got money, they got lawyers, and they breaking the law. It's difficult to fight people like that. And then what I'm discovering, it ain't much help for people like us. I thought it's a lot of freaking programs and they got pro bono lawyers, but it's like they taxed and they ain't got nobody to represent you. Ask me how I know. Because I literally had packed up. I started packing my stuff. I determined that I was gonna get put out, but after I was gonna wait and go to court. And let the court put me out though, and I was going to be a whistleblower at court. Whatever happened, I was going to file. Matter of fact, what I had planned, even before I got the lawyer, that once I got to court, I was going to file retaliation charges. I ain't never did it, but thank God the lawyer came in, and once she came in, I need you stay and fight this, Mr. Burton. I said, okay, but you need to know I'm gonna fight them too. And the thing is, because the thing is, she can't represent me and all my neighbors, and then they don't even half of them don't even ask for no help. Now I done got about since so they was so things changed. So one of the things. How about this? How this what happened? So after I started beefing with them, they stopped. We weren't communicating. Even the one girl had an ex parte out on me at the desk, and nobody in the office was communicating with me at all. Only thing they was doing was taking my rent, and when I say taking it, I really mean taking it. and so and I'm just discovering this because it's the ledger, because it was my lawyer. So when we suspected that something was going on, the lawyer was like, y'all need to get your ledgers. I'm like, what's a ledger? She was like, it's a financial statement from them. I'm like, I ain't know nothing about that. And so I asked for my ledger. And I started telling my neighbors, get your ledger. And they wouldn't give me my ledger. But I like, and then my lawyer started trying to get, because they supposed to give it to me. So the lawyer was trying to get my ledger. So this been ongoing for a while. Since last year, we were trying to get that ledger. And now I know why. So anyway, so then the new people came. And when they came, they said, before we met anybody, they put out letters. And in their letters, their introduction letter, with it, because they took the building over January 27th. And they came in about a couple of days after that. We met the some of the three corporate managers, like middle level management, I believe, or maybe some senior management. That's what it was, senior managers. We met with them. But HABC, Angela Cameron, was here too. And that's the one I said that was complicit, helping. It was like she was helping them come after me all, but that meeting, it was some bull crap. So of course the new people come in and Angela Cameron try and dictate the meeting so we won't say but so much. Because see, housing wasn't open and honest with Trent. And then they weren't open and honest. Nobody was open and honest with us. Let's just put it that way. And we talked, and I'm trying to get to what went on, what's going on, how they got there, how we gonna fix this, and then it's the same people in that meeting. It's some of the same staff that was all the staff except the one manager that left. And then we looking at people we know that was involved in some bull crap. And we was amazed when they told us that they was going to hire that manager, but she chose to left. So we was blown away. So now we try to figure out why they even changed. Why did they even change? So it was a slick move they pulled. They tried to pull a slick move. They did. It was a slick move. And then so we haven't even, the goddamn going manager, she won't even meet with me, but the supervisor, in fact, before we had the manager, they had the first person. No, I ain't meet. I think I talked to her. But before we had a manager, they had a regional manager, which was good because at least because the last with CT group, there was a regional manager, but we didn't even know who she was. They was MIA. So that's one of the things. We couldn't communicate with nobody above the girl that was in the office, the one that was stealing. And it's not supposed to be that way. And because see, after COVID, everything shut down. When I say everything, the lawyers went away, the watchdogs, everything went away. And the owners, they went away. Everybody went away and left us with that manager. And I'm like, girl, at least use some grease. Golly. You know what I mean? And so then, like I said, so then this when things kind of, so the new company came in, and so I and of course they already heard about Kevin, and because they sitting in the office with the old company, and so I'm all day. That's the only people she talked to. She don't talk to us. Haven't since she been there. They just sit there and get everything about around here from the criminals. So you can imagine if they steal, how much they lie. So they lie their butts off trying to protect themselves. And they would do it at the cost of other people. And so anyway, some real bull crap. So then I try to talk to the lady because I went to I ain't mess with when the manager came in, new manager came in. I ain't come down mess with her the first day. Second day I come down to her, introduce myself, and ask her for could I get a couple things, her supervisor information and her information and stuff. Because I said right now I ain't letting them. That's my mindset. I ain't letting them do what they did last time. You know what I mean? We ain't going there again. And so first thing I asked for is supervisor information. And she couldn't give me nothing, but she told me send her an email, and she would not respond to my emails. Just would ignore everything I send her unless I always had to do slick stuff to get her to respond. I always had to, after I send her an email, do something counter to that. I got to make another move to get her to respond every time she did something, did what she's supposed to do, and so. I asked one of the things I'm like trying to get the meat, because they took our board and all that. And there's a vending machine downstairs where money comes in, all that's supposed to come to us. They getting it, you know what I mean? There's monies that come from the ownership. So at this point, we don't have a council, so that money means nothing. But that money in that goddamn vending machine, that's a whole different story. And anyway, so when my lawyer told me to get the ledger, I started asking for a ledger, and they wouldn't give me a ledger. Then the new people came, and they were supposed to give everybody their ledgers within 30 days, but I noticed they didn't do that. And so I started asking for a ledger and telling everybody else get a ledger, because I'm like, they said they was give a ledgers, ask them for a ledger. And my neighbors weren't listening to me though. And they weren't listening to get the ledger, and I couldn't get mine. They wouldn't give it to me. And so then what I did one day, I got okay, I knew something else to do. You know what I mean? I figured you do want to use one of the mandates, the more stronger mandates. So one thing about our file, we have the right to see our files, and in those rights, they have 2 days to allow you to do it, and then they have 2 days to give you any documents that you want, and so that's what I told her. I said, listen, I want to see my file, and I got 2 days to do it. Then after that, I'm letting you know now. I want and after them 2 days, I want all my dockets. I want all the documents. And so then she sent a thing saying, come get your ledger. Right? So she gives me the ledger. So she gives me the ledger, but it's a short one, because I'm discovering they got two kinds. She gave me this short one that was from November last year up into March. And it literally had me for no payments. And I'm like, okay, she took all my money, you know what I mean? But here's the thing, because see, they wouldn't give us receipts. And I fought them about that, but they won. We continued, me and my neighbors, it ain't just me. You know what I mean? And then, but we realized though that they were giving them to some people. A late fee scam. And so I'm trying, but then the problem is one of the organizations gave me monies. One of the community organizations gave me monies. But in order for them, they call it rental assistance. But in order how they do it, they don't give it to you. They send it straight to the landlord. And so they had sent that money straight to the landlord. That wasn't on my ledger. That was in December. The date for December is on there. November is on there. In November, so I come back and I realized, oh, I'm glad. November was the only receipt that I had that the office gave me. See, because what they tell people when you actually ask them for a receipt, they tell people that it's they get a receipt with the money on it. And I keep telling my neighbors, y'all stop accepting that. That's not a receipt. A receipt means they gave you something. You giving them that. They ain't give you anything. The people know, and because the stuff is merely receipt show you got the money order. And see that, but we ain't understand it back then. I knew it was something though, but I ain't understand it. And so anyway, I knew they was in trouble because all this stuff on here. I'm like, oh Lord, this woman's stealing. This woman done took all my money. And including the outside organization money. And I go do the necessary things, go back to the organization. They need me to go to the bank. The bank, give me a document. No, the people gave me that. The bank really telling me they couldn't tell me. They needed to talk the information I needed. They needed to give to the people that gave me the check. So I got to go back to them, talk to them. Took me a minute, but me in the bank to get them to understand what we was talking about. But then come to find out, the man that gave us the money saying that's going on all the time. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. Like, what? I'm look, they in housing. So housing is that bad, where it's so bad that people break crimes, and you got lawyers and community organizations and stuff saying there's nothing you can do about it. It's like I'm like I'm the lawyer. Her name is Natalie something, Lawrence something, the chief attorney at Legal Aid. I still can't get that out of my head when she said that to me. It's nothing you can do. It's going on. She said the same thing. It's going on everywhere. And there's nothing you can do about it. Like what? What y'all mean? These people got so that when they tell you that, just tells you how insulated Baltimore City has housing, how insulated it is. And it's like you be asking for help and nobody will come help you. Everybody pushing it off to some man. And that's what I've been doing. So this woman, so this would happen. So I've been mad as I don't know what, because it's like I've been doing everything. And even when I go out to my leaders to ask for help, they give me freaking assignments to do. I gotta write this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this. They just don't help. They want me to do it. I done did the audit. I done did the investigation. Now they won't even put their eyes on it. One person put their eyes on it, I ain't messing with him no more. Because he gonna tell me he ain't seen nothing. Now the lawyer already done found the crimes, and I know I seen him, but I ain't the only one that see him. But the guy from HUD gonna say he ain't seen nothing on there. He think I'm dumb as, but now and it dawned on me that he part of, but I already know it, but he really part of the freaking problem. Because see, I've been filing these complaints at HUD for several years, but stepped it up the last 2 years. But every time I get a response from HUD, it's the same person. I don't really care what because I file at different departments. I asked for a meeting with the secretary because I go all the way from the bottom to the top to the chain of command. Then ask everybody, the OIG and HUD, everybody. I think I've just found one more that's left that I'm gonna try. I left a message today. They ain't answered. But it sounds like they might can do something. I'm gonna see. Because the other joker that's been our regional manager, he's the regional manager from HUD, and it's been going on for years, and I've been calling him for years, and he say he been here. I ain't seen him. I ain't never met him. I ain't never seen him. He say he been here several times, but okay, what you do? What did you look at? I don't know what he did. I've been asking him to come do an audit our books, and audit the goddamn going board monies, and they won't do it. Like they own, and then they won't tell me who can. And well, so far, everybody they tell me, they tell me they then when I reach out to them, whatever way you do it, you got to file complaints 1,000,001 ways, and then I do it. And then they don't do nothing, don't respond. And then anyway, it's another assignment they give me. Call them and give them this, invite that, and do this, and jump over that so they can get you, and then throw them over there to that. Yeah, and then, so that's what it's been like. And so then, like I said, but the one thing this guy the guy did do what he said he was going to do this year. Because I've been saying, man, this some bull crap. I need my leisure. They won't give me the leisure. The daggone criminals. Clearly they criminals. That's why they won't give me my leisure. And so he did get it for me. They couldn't, of course, they ain't gonna tell HUD no. They got the money. So he got my leisure for me, and then sent another short one. Man, when I got the leisure, that's how I realized, oh, she's taking the goddamn, it's them freaking late fees. And then what I realized, because last year in November, I told y'all they wouldn't give us receipts for our rent pay. When we paid on rent, they wouldn't give us receipts. But in last year, in November, I paid my rent. And mind you, at that time we ain't even talking. I don't even go to the office. But I called down it. All I do is go at night, or like later in the evening, and drop my envelope my rent in this box behind the glass, and that's how you pay your rent. But some people, but you don't get no money, you don't get no receipt. And we buck forever for that. And then they saw, so they were telling people you gotta come back for it. And protest, I just stopped getting it. I just stopped asking for a receipt out of protest because they was playing games, giving them to some people, not giving them to some people, telling them they ain't ready. And then by the time, so now they was playing games with it. Now I know why though. So anyway, so on my ledger, so like I said, so in November I put extra money on the books, and I ain't that crazy. So like I said, I've been paying my rent, not even fussing with them about, because I'm like, look, I'm gonna pick my battles. I'm gonna find out what they doing. And but that time in November, I'm like, look, I called her. And we hadn't talked in a year. I was like, listen, this Kevin up in 402. I put my rent in that box, and I'm telling y'all, I want my receipt. Right. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna have somebody send it up there. Now she didn't see me pop off before. Right. Because that when I started protesting, I popped off, and they had the police was here all day for several days. Because then they started, a little bit. Then it was crazy. It was crazy though. But she let us meet and stuff like that. And they put pressure on. But that's a whole nother story. The administrative captain came in back last year when I was protesting administrative, because that was my demand, administrative captain. So it was we was here for hours. And me and my neighbors was protesting because they locked us out of we was trying to have a meeting. They locked us out of our day room. And the girl that's still here, the sister man, she gonna say, take that AASS to the roof to have a meeting and lock the door and leave. And so in protest, we had the meeting in the lobby, which we talking about doing again. We great because they doing the same thing. We want to meet, and we doing the same thing. And so now they won't even let me ask for nothing. I get no services from here no more. They try to use the lawyer thing. But the thing is, they can't, they're not supposed to do that. I still have a right to the same rights that everybody else do, because I still live here. But that ain't how they treat me. That ain't how they do. Knowing I have a lawyer and I'm fighting and everything. So mind you, they took me in the office when I'm fighting them, trying to organize and stuff, and they fighting as much as they can. They got some of my neighbors that's literally helping them and stuff. And they fighting me as much as I can. Then people in the meetings fighting me. And now they worrying about positions and all that. And I'm the only one doing the work, but they worrying about who in charge. Man, I'm by default in charge. Really? I'm the only one doing anything. Y'all ain't even talking to nobody. Haven't even talked to a lawyer. They ain't do nothing except the ones that did what they did with me. And they the ones they like, why wouldn't you want Kevin to be in charge? And the thing is, and I'm trying to tell them that what I'm doing is proper in the right way, but they don't know because they ain't read it, the policies and the MOUs and the bylaws and all the stuff that you got to read in the laws, literally, because a lot of the stuff, half the stuff they put in there, they literally laws. And that's the thing. But these people don't act like they don't know that. Well, they know, but they know because they got their late fee scam going on that they can get away with it, long as the money flowing. See, up top, everybody up top eating, so they gotta let the people from the bottom. But the problem is the people from the bottom eating off the people, the most vulnerable and the most poor in the community. And then they take your money and then put you out. People be homeless that come in here. Go at them, take their money, charge them these bonus fees, because this how I discovered it. So that money order receipt that I demanded from her, that's what's going to send her to jail. Because when on that receipt, mind you, she took all my money. So that's once, I had no payments. Everything they gave me no credit for payments, including the $500 that people sent. She gave me no credit for it. And then gave me a late fee for November. Also, I paid my rent on time. She took that, then hit me with a late fee. And and we knew it was something about the late fees. We just ain't get it. So it hit me right then and there. What they do is, because I knew for a fact she was just come up and just out of nowhere asking for money. And the neighbors be dumbfounded. I knew that. And I just ain't know which they was doing. And so anyway, so what they do is they when you pay your rent on time. And it's like my neighbors still don't be getting it when I'm explaining. They like, let's, and I know, but I guess because I seen it, I get it. But I'm gonna show them. But she won't let us meet. Anyway, but we go buck again. They'll buck with me after they get tired of them. And they about tired too after what went on Friday. So anyway, few of them tired. About tired of them. The one girl was like, Mr. Burton, why you ain't tell me you was going to be down, Mr. Kevin, why you tell me you're going to be down here protesting? Came down here with you. She was mad at me. And matter of fact, she one of the ones, two ladies, the first time I protested, this is how long I've been protesting. National Night Out, I think it was like August 22nd or something. It was in August last year. Brandon Scott has his National Night Out news conference. I went to the first one to protest. So everybody know. And everybody, so you can imagine, everybody was there. Everybody. And we informed everybody at that time. It's almost a year later, and it's still, we at this bullcrap. And just now discovering why they've been fighting and doing all this because they had a freaking scam going on. Just discovering it Friday when going over the document because dude gave me what I needed and going over it and looking at them receipts. And I realized that on the 4th, I paid my rent on time, but she gave me they took it, but she still charged me a late fee. And we knew it was something about late fees because some of my other neighbors had some ledgers. Because I told you, I kept telling my neighbors to get them, and some of them started getting them. And when they started getting them, they started realizing that there was these fees on them that they knew nothing about. Matter of fact, they was right there with me when we was at Mark Conway's at that meeting where Mark Conway wasn't there, but the hybrid meeting with the delegates and Janae, which is Mark Conway's. She's a director, a wonderful woman. She's a director in his office, and she kind of led the meeting, and I think his chief of staff was there in person. And then there was those that was there virtually delegates and supposed to have been CT group. They pretty much was a no-show because they ain't say nothing. They just said, yeah, we here, and that was it. We ain't hear from the rest of the time. Andrew Conron protected them. And they was able to go on about their merry way. I still ain't, because I had called out, it was called out how I got to her supervisor, because the supervisor had to come to that meeting. But they came hybridly. I wanted to look in their face, stealing their money, because I knew they were stealing at that time, but I still hadn't figured out how. At that time, I was trying to get somebody else come in here and figure it out. That's what I was trying, because I knew they were stealing, and I was claiming embezzlement in their face. And answer the crime, Ron, talking about me up here claiming embezzlement with no proof. We got proof, you just won't come look. Got all the proof in the world. And so they merely what they do is you pay your rent. That's why they cut off giving you a receipt for your payment. When you pay your rent, they stop giving us a receipt. They just F y'all. Stop giving us a receipt. And then sometimes some people, we still though was here, and some people they will give them to. And because it's also one of the problems I got, there's a lot of fraternizing. One guy was actually sleeping with the manager. And I'm like, she sleep with the dumbest, she got to be the dumbest person, because the dude she sleep with, he can't hold water. He run his mouth worse than a woman. And so that tells you how much brain she had that she sleep with him, and he come tell me no, because he telling everybody, but I don't even mess with him, and he come and tell me and he know I'm beefing with her. He know I'm going to use that. And anyway, yeah, so it's a lot of fight now, and they be in there working for them, washing their cars, cleaning up for them, working with the maintenance man, taking out their trash, you know what I mean? Going to store for them, you know. So, and what I'm saying, that problem with the fraternizing is they show favoritism. It's you know, it's just human nature. That's why they frown upon fraternizing in those places. And so anyway, man, so they merely come to you. They manipulate you. You pay your rent, you pay it on time, but they hold it. They hold on to it. They don't put it in. Then they put it in late. And but the thing is, and then there's a like $14.60, 90 cents, something like that. But the crazy thing is, I've seen all types of numbers with this stuff. So that's why that's the weirdest part. Like $2, then 2.20s, you know, $2.20 literally. But it's a one payment. That's a one for that month. And but then what they do is they keep doing it. They keep hitting you. And then when it build up, that's when they come to you and roll the dice. I call it rolling the dice because they come to you, say you owe, and you know damn well you pays your rent, at least. But I told you who I live with. Some of my neighbors, you know, they mentally challenged, you know what I mean? Have learning disabilities and can't read, and then they shame. And this the thing, man, because I be helping all of my kin, but some of them, they don't want the residents to know. They don't want us to know that they can't read. So they rather go to the office to get them to do stuff for them. And I'm telling them they criminals. Oh. But they don't be believing me because they believe the liars, because they lie about everything. The woman told, when I was protesting, the woman told my neighbors, the one of them told my neighbors that it's against the lease to protest. That's why they was putting me out. And I'm telling my neighbors, no, that's not true. And I'm like, tell her, show you that, where that, tell her, show you in the lease. Did you read your lease? You don't see nothing about you can't protest because we have a constitutional right to protest. And so anyway, she telling them that they put me out to protest and telling them it's you know, according to the lease, you can't protest. And I'm telling them it's a lie. And I'm asking them, well, can you write a statement saying she say that for me? Do that. But they won't write the statement. And the reason I asked them to write the statement, because it's a criminal offense in Baltimore City for a landlord to lie to a tenant about their rights. You know, but these people don't care. But they've been doing this so long, but the problem is, in these buildings, they think everybody the same. So they treat everybody and they treat everybody like they ain't no good, like they're above them. So since they feel they're above you, they can do certain things with no conscience. That's the problem. They do it with no conscience. I mean, it take a rotten, dirty person to do that scam that they doing, knowing that people was going back out in the streets because of them making themselves wealthy. But people living in the streets off of it because they wind up homeless again. And can you imagine the shock that is to a homeless person that work hard, you know, try to get off of homelessness and then wind up right back knowing that they paid them. And so so the 50-50 dice is they come to you, I call it 50-50 roll, because they come to you, say, hey, you owe us. And it's a letter always, a threatening letter always. And some people they just, so they pay them. They pay them. They don't be understanding what the world's going on. And so they pay them. And then some people like, man, I'm not paying y'all, and they don't pay. And they take them to court. But then they don't show up and the court throw it out. Every time. Because, you know, they know they got scammed, better not take their butts in the court with it. And so they don't go to the court. They take you to court, but they don't go to court. So that's part of the their threatening tactics and their intimidation and stuff. So and they have put people out without the courts. So they got people intimidating people, and I'm telling them, and I keep trying to tell them, listen, man, y'all don't let them do that. Don't. But they, Mr. Burke, you trying to get out of here. We gotta stay here. I said, all right, but we're gonna clean up before I go if y'all help me. But they, anyway, so yeah, late fee scam. Just found out Friday, man, and like so and couldn't wait to get on the horn Tuesday because had to wait all because Friday they put them things on our door Friday around 4th because anytime they put something on our door, especially if it's like something where they don't want to deal with, it's about it, they put on your door right before they leave out. And Friday, that's what they did, put the letters on the door right before they left out. And one of the neighbors come out, I'm outside, one of the neighbors come out, I seen the maintenance man when he got off the elevator with him. So that's how I know what time it was. And when I seen him with papers, I recognized what he was doing. Because that's, they get the maintenance man or even the cleanup girl to put the letters on the doors. But you never know what they are, you know what I mean? But that they put all types of stuff on your doors, invites, threats, all types of stuff on your door. Then I'll put stuff on people's doors, trying to organize. Problem is, with the struggle with that is, I'm using my little bit of nothing, trying to use my little bit of nothing resources to do it, and leaning on the neighbors that have little ink and paper too. That paper, not the paper necessarily, but that ink is expensive. And I'm used to keeping ink and paper because I had to go to a school online, but trying to get it. Trying to get the message to 118 apartments. And then they always tell me, I ain't know y'all was doing. And so it's hard trying to get the message to people. And then half of them won't read what you put on the door. And it be messing them up with them people. I be telling my neighbors, man, you got to read that, man, or get somebody help you. Because sometimes they be needing to do things, but because they ain't read it, they don't even know. And sometimes it's things that is to that benefit. Man, one neighbor was crazy. So one of my neighbors, this was over the weekend, and man, him cool. We real cool. But he don't mess with him. He won't kind of no meeting, none of that. So he ain't doing none of that, right? Other than that, because he been here a long time, like I have too. Both of us around that middle length, whatever. And so anyway, I'm asking him about the ledger. Did you ever get your ledger? I say to him, like, I ain't worrying about that, man. Them people ain't doing nothing to me. They know better than that. That's what me. And that's what all the guys, because all the guys my age are gangsters. The young guys in Miami, they got my back. The women, they got my back. The guys my age, they want to be gangsters, but they scared of her though. But they want to be gangsters. Tough Tony all day. That's all they talk. I'd be like, I can't do it. I don't want to listen to that because I'm a real gangster and y'all might wake him up. See, I don't talk gangster. I don't talk it. Y'all, for y'all that don't know, I ain't talking about them the young, the YN, not them gangs, but we OGs. But even in Baltimore, we ain't, like my day, we ain't never, like Baltimore was never Bloods and Crips and all that until these new school kids. Because we always thought that was clownish. You know what I mean? We always thought that was weird in Baltimore. So we ain't never get into that in a few generations afterwards. Because, I'm Generation X is I call it Scarface generation. I was just, anyway, because the kids be talking about, you be trying to dress like us? I said, no, sir. No, sir. Y'all dressing like us. Yeah. Yeah, because we was wearing Airs before you was born. Especially in Baltimore, we Nike Airs. Yeah, so in Jordan, before you was, I was wearing Jordans before you was born. Yeah. Been rocking jeans and tees before you was born. Yeah. Been wearing, baklavas. I've been wearing them for 20 years because I'm bald-headed. Everybody wearing a ski mask now, and you got the ones that's called, the best ones called baklavas. And I've been wearing them for so long because I'm bald-headed. I've been bald-headed a long time. And the knitted hats, When I first shave, when my head freshly shaved, like I like it, the knitted hats won't stay on it. So I started wearing the mask and cover my head and put a hat on. And plus, I was just, so that was a long time ago when I started that. So these kids think I got it from them. No, sir. Y'all got it from us. I'm the OG. Yeah. So that's, anyway, how did I get there? I'm talking about this scam. So they put the letter, so the new people, I know now they have to see what's going on. And they daggone sure won't talk to me, and all they want to do is come after me. Because one time, so after I organized a tenant association, I attempted to organize. I did, but we needed to be recognized by the owners, but the owners don't want us to have one. So go figure. But they can't tell us we can't. It ain't the owner's decision if we can have one or not. They can't tell us we can't have one. Like the RAP board can say y'all can't come be under the board. But okay, so, and that's what they did. They told us we couldn't have a board until 2026 because we was up here fighting them. Damn right, we fighting them. That's what y'all, here's the thing, because they keep going down there telling them we fighting them. And see, that's some bullcrap, because I keep talking to y'all, asking what you mean, what we fighting. Be very specific with that word fighting. Be specific, because yeah, we fighting for fights. Ain't nobody using their hands, because they would have got locked up. Ain't nobody been locked up. Police been here quite a few times. So cut it. But that's what they be going down there telling them. And they be believing them. Anyway, so yeah, man, got that going late fee scam. So they put them letters out. They gave me one. They want, because I'm dealing with them. We having legal case. So first the ledger they give me say I owe them $900 and something. Then the ledger Mr. Biggers say I owe him $300 and something. Then the letter they give me say I owe him $200 and something. And the stupid letter say for the month of May, this month. I just paid it. And I got receipts. So I don't know what the world you doing. And then instead of signing the document, it's a 10-day intent to evict me if I don't pay this. But we got 30 days though. And anyway, some bullcrap. So, and then she initially put on my door, but they ain't going to deal with me about it. They put on my door, but they ain't going to talk to me about it. After I done seen crimes on it. I done found crimes, but now they won't even talk to me about it. So I couldn't wait till the day came. So all weekend I'm holding that. And I keep thinking about what they did, man. Oh, that's all weekend. That's all I kept thinking about was the fact that they were scamming my neighbors out of their money and then evicting them. That thing, just every time I think about it, I go into a fit of rage. Now I know that thing then kicked my PTS. That's why I'm sweating tonight. They think I sweat. And this morning I was gone. And that's what made me. So this morning, when I got up, like I've been at it for a minute. When I'm saying I'm a different breed. One thing about me is when I'm on it, and I've been at it for a minute. And sometimes I stop, I come back, and like right now, but everything you got, it's all gotta write, and I'm tired of writing. Like I'm doing, like it's like, can you do your job? Well, I gotta do it, and I've literally been doing everything. I'm tired. My neighbors won't help. I try to get anything I can get out of them. They ain't got much to get. And I'm tired. They don't know how to write emails, don't have emails, can't write it, can't use it, 90% of them. And, it's so anyway, and everything is when we're trying to get help, it's about email, And I'm like, man, my neighbor. And so I can't get them to help me. They said he is, then don't do it. I've been trying to get somebody else to schedule a meeting. I'm telling you, and it pissed me off because what they did, the negate what I did, instead of her sending the letters, giving the letter to the owners like I asked, she go down HABC. This ain't not the manager, her boss. The regional manager, that's who really running the place. This girl, she don't talk to us. The Boston met with us twice, I think, once. She don't talk to us. But that's who running it, because she's a snake. She's snakier than this girl. And so anyway, they called this meeting. They did, for talking about putting the rad board together. So everybody excited and everything. I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. Telling my neighbors, don't y'all trust them. And but let's see what happens. Because we already know they try and mess with me. They, So anyway, they go through the whole ordeal, and then I was mad. Who I was in there smoking, and she so then they didn't come in and come after me. The regional manager, this new manager. So after we attempted, before she did what she did, after we attempted to put our council together, and my neighbors, I finally said, listen, because the lawyer's like, listen, you president by default, just go ahead and put this thing together. And I've been, talking to the other community organizers, tenant organizers and stuff like that, trying to get advisors to learn how to do this and stuff without them, and how the legalities and all that, and reading the MOU and all that stuff, and to do it right, and had the lawyers come in and train to show my neighbors what we doing is the way to do it, but none of them came. So, but I'm the only one almost that seemed to get it. But so what's making this so difficult, I'm trying to tell them, but they've ever listened to the office. And then it's like they have really had problems with me, with following me. They don't know, but they don't want to follow nobody else. Dudes want to be in charge, but they don't want to work. It's crazy. Then, so what, you want to be in charge, then after I go do the work, you want to come ask me, can you get that number? Can you get that email? No, go do something. And anyway, man, I'm tired. So over the weekend, that thing was festering in my head, man. I just kept thinking about how many of my neighbors they done put out of here, and wondering how many they scammed. And then just thinking about, after all that, y'all stealing, then I'm the one that's the bad guy around this joint, and nobody won't come see nothing. And so then this morning, I what's the day? The day Friday. I'm messed up in the days, y'all. I just realized I'm messed up in the days, COVID. So anyway, I got up this morning and was preparing myself to begin to write these. One, it's a letter already that I forget who it needs, Maryland, somewhere in Maryland, one of the departments in Maryland that I suppose has been writing a letter. Then Kawazi and Fumi want me to write him another letter. And then, well, no, that's not true. That's not true. Let me do something else. And because they're the ones that sent me to Mark Conway's office. Now I'm telling them it's only but Mark Conway can't do nothing. I think they didn't. And so anyway, they there you go. I'll be brain freeze, brain fog is what we call it. Brain fog. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm from Baltimore. We talk funny, but I try to talk properly. I'm gonna leave my Baltimore, my people alone, because y'all might start talking about them. We don't play that. I can talk about them. Y'all can't talk about it. Same thing. I talk about my neighbors. Yeah, listen, I call my neighbors out. I'm telling them, y'all don't be calling them out. Let me call them out. Anyway, man. So then this morning when I got to thinking about the work that I needed to do, the things, I got frustrated. And I got to thinking about that they just get to walk away. I got to thinking about how I'm a 3-time felon. That quick they locked me up when I was running my scam. And stuff like that. And then it got to the point where like fuck that. They got to go. They got to go. I'm going to protest. And I do that. Anyway, went downstairs, started protesting. I mean, I went down. First, you start off fucking up here. Then you kind of tone it down. But you make sure the police get there. That's the goal, to get the police and draw attention and let everybody know what's going on, because nobody knows what's outside of here. Really, it's like been a secret. So I ain't letting it be no secret no more. I'm making it known. I'm putting signs out. I'm my bullhorn outside, letting people know. I'm going back down City Hall. I'm Brian Scott getting this protest again if I gotta go by myself. But eventually I'm gonna build a coalition. But one of the things that's a blessing is because it's going on in so many buildings, it's one or two or three people that's fighting them. And all of us trying to come together. All us people that's already fighting them, we trying to get us together. So they don't have to fight alone. That's what we're working on. That's one of the things I'm working on right away, because this is tough. One lady called me crying because she's down there, the same owners, same management company, but they have a small, very small building, and they said they only had nobody to work. Ain't nobody working there. They only had staff there, and they stuff be flooding and mold everywhere, and mice, and they have no tenant council, they had no vending machines and none of that stuff. And it's like she was in tears, like, we need help. She said, and I'm fighting by myself, and they come after me. I'm like, okay, we're gonna help you. We're gonna use our resources, because I've been running around pushing. So now I got lawyers waiting to, and they connected them lawyers. Because the thing is, I suggested to my neighbors, because they gave me one of them letters Friday talking about, anyway, I owe them this and bull crap. And but I'm telling my neighbors, don't go in there with them people. Wait, make her meet with all of us. That's what I was telling them. Tell the man that don't deal with her now, but they went in there by themselves. And the thing is that and they have a right to do that. I can't make them do anything. I just make suggestions. But and a couple of people got mad because I was trying to get them to do, for them, for us. See, but this is the thing about my neighbors. This is the thing about human nature. Humans are self-centered people. Humans are self-centered. But then you have those that's when it becomes a defective character. That's totally self-centered, where they don't think about nobody else but themselves. And so therefore, if it's not bothering them, they don't give a hoot. But then they so apathetic that it don't bother them. And then they so ignorant, literally ignorant, that it don't bother them. And these the people they take advantage of. Yeah. One of my buddies, man, the dude, I think I was telling the story. I don't think I finished it. I was talking about, no, I ain't finished it. I was talking about my buddy that's been here about as long as I have, and I asked him, did he get his ledger? And he went slick mode, talking about they ain't doing nothing to him and all that, blah, 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 blah. And then he said, you know what? It's you. I ain't gonna play that with you. And he said, come on in. So I go in his apartment. He go in his closet, get all his envelopes. And he was like, let me find this ledger. He was like, sit down on the couch. So we sit down. I was like, hold on, I go get my reading glasses. I'm at that age where I need reading glasses. And it's getting like to the point where I cannot see them words without them now. And so I got to get used to it, because that's new. And I don't want to wear no glasses. I like glasses because I like nice glasses. You know what I mean? I ain't a Gucci everything, but some Gucci, some Fendi, some, I like nice glasses. If I'm gonna put it on my face, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, it's on my face. Anyway, so yeah. So I'm sitting down with dude, and he got his envelopes, and he started pulling stuff out of the envelopes. And one of the envelopes, I recognized the letter from the lawyer, because I recognized the letterhead. And as soon as I seen him pull it out, he was like, what's that? I said, that's from the daggone lawyer. He was like, huh? I said, that's from the lawyer. And so he pulled it out, and it was from last year, October, a 30-day notice of eviction. And he ain't know she was putting him out. He'd been scammed. She was putting him, he been scammed and she was evicting him. But I got her out of here is what saved him. So we was in there cracking. And you know, because I don't, one thing about it, when I know something personal about my neighbors, even dealing with all this stuff, I don't share it with nobody else unless they give me permission. And I, you know, but I wouldn't tell that story so bad. He was like, "You can." He said, "I don't mind. You can put my name on it." I was like, "Okay, he a good sport." But I guess he had to humble himself after that one. And I guess he said, "Yeah, I get everything that come with this one." But the other side of that, Kevin pretty much protected me and saved me from getting put out. Yeah, not even knowing it, because it was me that got her out of here. So at least it got a little better. But now they trying to do the same thing. So I'm trying to get, man, what needs to happen is they need to get rid of these crooks, the owners. That's what needs to happen. We need new owners that's really going to do the right thing. And we trying to create, you know, it's a coalition of people that live in housing that they treating bad, that the tenants, the landlords has come after. We're trying to come together and create some town hall meetings for the people in housing. So they have some place safe to get away from the criminal landlords and talk about what's going on. And then so we also know who to report it to that can actually do something. Not what you gotta do it. They want me to do a goddamn thing. I'm tired, man. That's what had me popped off this morning. I shut the office down. They gonna call the security company. Now I already got issues with them because the girl, one of the security guards, most of them, there's 3 of them that work for Watkins that come here on the regular. And 2 of them here more often because they work 12-hour shifts on the weekend. The girl that worked the best shift, she's pretty much was their pet and was doing everything they was telling her to do. And even to the point where she was out violating my rights. To the point I'm out there, I got the taxi line. I think I tagged him in here. I hit all my, what I hit in here all the people that I watch. And what I hope that y'all would share this for me, man. And I'm trying to get this around. I've been hitting everybody. The secretary, this new secretary, and hit him, I hit Trump, Elon, everybody you can think of, Al Attorney General, Al Mayor, Al Governor, Al State Attorney, Al in this country that I could find, literally. And who else? Hey, if you think of it, out of all the news channels, the paper channels, I mean the community paper. I've been going to them. And it's like, man, it's been one thing after another. But yeah, this morning I popped off this morning, man. I went down there and got their attention. Let them know I ain't afraid of them, and y'all better leave me alone before y'all mess around and catch, because they didn't mess around and triggered my stuff again. Like, y'all gonna mess around? Yeah. Because at this point, and I'm like, I ain't worried about getting locked up. They didn't realize that now. Lock me up. I'm sorry. I'd rather just go to, here's the thing. They be, and my neighbors and all that, it's like everybody be worrying about my behavior and the fears I'm gonna get locked up. But there's no fear of these criminals. Them criminals ain't got no fear of getting locked up. Then again, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that. But they still break that law, though. I'll tell you that. They still take that money. Yeah, they still take that money. They lied. They lied to my lawyer, told them, it was one of them manipulative things, but this is who they are. And now I'm really telling my neighbors, if they do this to the lawyer, can you imagine what they do to you? Because we've been trying to find out where the money from the vending machines go, because it's supposed to come to the tenants to allow us to use it. And she know I'm trying to organize, which requires resources, and they know that too. And even when we trying to come together and haven't gotten the resources yet, the office is supposed to offer you the resources. They don't do nothing, man. But yes, they do. They keep us from organizing. That's what they do. They keep our money. That's what they do. They violate our rights. That's what they do. So I ain't gonna say they don't do nothing. That's what they do. They violate our rights. They break the law. Then they put you out. That's what they do. Tell us, CT Group, and now it's tracked. That's in here. Telisis, the owners. CT Group was the criminal company that they gone. Now the other criminal company coming here, and they go trying to come after me. So they call me in the office. After we put the tenant council together, they called me in the office. I was sitting in the day in our community room one day with the guys. I don't even be down there much anymore because there's so much. Anyway, because I was trying to stay downstairs, spend more time downstairs so I can see what's going on. But I don't do drama, and my neighbors, some of them like drama. I don't have no off switch, so I remove myself. That's what I've been doing this a long time, so I know me and I know when to get out of here. Cause and I hate it because I want to be around people. I hate sitting up in here by myself all the time. My vehicle is gone. My vehicle broke down, and I had put so much effort into this. I ain't had nothing left. No hustle, no money to fix it. And I'm like, all right, I'll go get a bus pass. And been busting it for the last 3-4 months or so. I'm going to get me an e-bike or something this next month. That's how you live when you're on disability, though. You know what I mean? They towed my car. I was parked in the handicap spot and forgot to put my tag up. They towed my car. And they had the thing is, they wasn't doing that. This was when they earlier when they got here. They wasn't, so the other people wasn't towing, the city wasn't towing cars. When you didn't put your tag up, they would call the police. And the police would come out and give you a ticket. And if you had your tag up, if you owned the tag, if you had one and just merely forgot to put it up, then you just take that ticket to court, show them you got a tag and forgot to put it up, and they throw it out. But these people, they changed the policy without telling us. That's what they do. And so they towed my car and my buddy's car. They towed like 4 of our cars when they first got here. $336. Mind you, I got rent and ice cream sandwich money, a monthly. And they tow your car. Thank God for my family at that time. I ain't been talking to them now. We've been beefing, but thank God for my family. My nephew and my niece got it out for me. My sister told them they got it out for me. We haven't talked in months now. I've been beefing with my family. Because I'm mad because they won't. It's like I've been abandoned. I'm angry. So, all right, y'all don't mess with me. I ain't messing with y'all. I think I'm getting older. That's what it is. So at this point in my life, I'm the baby of the family. But at this point in my life, I'm giving people the same energy they give me. I'm talking about, I've been trying to meet with family for years and sit down and talk about some stuff, all these secrets, but they want to keep it because half of my family's church. They church, church like secrets. So they keep the secrets, and I'm tired of the secrets. Because after I changed my life, I learned to be free, and I learned one of the ways to be free is to be secret free. People are like, what you mean? You ain't got no secret. You tell everybody. No, I don't tell everybody anything, but I tell somebody everything. Yeah, I don't have no secrets. Not in my closet. They all out. That's how I was taught to live. Everybody don't live that way. Some of my family, they don't get it. I know even some of like real private people, it makes them uncomfortable when you're real transparent. But the thing that be bothering me, and what I noticed about a lot of private people, is because they don't like talking about themselves, so they talk about ain't got that going body else, and I got issue with that. I don't want to talk about them. Let's talk to each other. And if we're going to talk about somebody, let's talk about ourselves. That's the kind of conversations I like to have. But people ain't comfortable with talking about themselves. They like talking about you. I don't want to talk about them. That's what I be telling my neighbors. I don't want to talk about them. And my neighbors know I got a reputation. I'm not going to talk about you. I'm going to come talk to you if I got an issue. And that's, I think it'll be a better world if we learn to do that. But now people want to have secrets. But I tell you what, with the next generation, my nieces and nephews, most of my brothers, I got one brother left, was 7 of us. I'm the baby, sister the oldest. And then my one survivor brother been locked up 41 years. Maybe coming home soon. And Yes, we don't play that nonsense, man. But so yes, but then there's a bunch of nieces and nephews. One that you got the deaths, one in prison. My sister nieces and my sister's children is my age, because my sister's old enough to be my mother. She's the oldest, and I'm the youngest. My mother and father had 7 children. My father had 8. I didn't even know it. I'm mad. That's one of the family secrets I'm mad about. And I ain't found out till about 7 years ago. So I heard years ago, because I don't know my father. I don't know my father. And I realized I'm that generation pretty much, because my father had his father, but I ain't had mine. By me being so young, when my mother left him, I was about 3, 4, so I don't remember him. But she left him because he was abusive. And none of his family, I got cousins. But other than that, that's it from with my father's side of the family. All I got is cousins. No aunts and uncles, grandparents. None of them. I never knew none of my grandparents. I had one uncle that from my father that I found out about years later. I didn't know I had no surviving uncle. Then he was elderly and he had issues but he needed a caregiver because he had issues. Nobody really didn't, but he needed help. But he basically ran everybody. He was almost intolerable, but shoot, I tolerated him. You know what I mean? And he needed me, so I helped him till he died. And it was funny because when I first found out, I done jumped this. I done went into a whole nother conversation. Go with the flow, okay? So when he first found out, when I first found out that I had an existing uncle, I was all excited. Mind you, I'm the baby boy. I don't know nothing about my father or his family, about the Burtons. I don't know nothing. And I was excited to know that I had an uncle because my sister told me. So I called him. Uncle Henry, this is Kevin, blah, 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 blah. Man, and that family, you the patriarch of the family. You the patriarch of the Burton family. Everybody waiting, we gonna, yeah. And he was like, okay, yeah, okay. Then I would try to keep in touch. I would call every so often. Then one time he said to me, look, hit me like I was calling for a job. He said, don't call me, I'll call you. That's what my uncle told me. What the? I was like, oh, hung the phone up. My little feelings hurt. But guess what? I wound up becoming his caregiver until he passed away. Because first, my one cousin was doing it because nobody else in the family didn't mess with him. And I, eventually come to understand why. But family secrets. And anyway, matter of fact, I preached Uncle Henry's funeral. I just remembered that. I eulogized. I had totally forgot. And then talking to y'all, I just remember I eulogized my Uncle Henry's funeral. But yeah, Uncle Henry he didn't want to listen to nobody, and he was set in his ways. He wouldn't let them had the same copy for 20 years. Wouldn't let them come in and change it. He needed help. We tried to set him up nurses. They come. He wouldn't let them in. Stuff like that. And then and my sister, one of my cousins she was the eldest of the Burtons. One of my cousins. She was his main caregiver. He had children, but they weren't around at all. He had adult children, but they weren't around. And so she reached out for help from my sister because she was the only one to take care of him. Then my sister wound up being the only one taking care of him, so that's how I come in the picture. And then when I come in the picture, man, I was like, oh, because they was letting Uncle Henry just isolate in the apartment with the shades down and all that, not cleaning the place and all that stuff. And I got over it. I was like, oh no, we're not doing this. We're gonna get some light in here. We're gonna open these shades. We're gonna let some air in here. You going to the market with me, Uncle Henry. I ain't going for you, because they would just go to market for him. I'm like, Uncle Henry need to go. He need to get out so that man can live. He gonna die sitting right there. Just sitting in the house, sitting in a chair. Like at least, so I would take them out. I would take them to the market room. Now it was a doozy because the thing was, my uncle wanted to get. He don't like non-brand name stuff. Uncle Henry don't like non-brand name stuff, but he don't like the brand name prices. And so he want to get all the brand stuff. Then when we get to the counter, Uncle Henry want to have a fit about the price, like Uncle Henry. And so, because I was trying to let him shop for it yourself, that's why my sister didn't want to take him to the market. But I'm like, y'all gotta take him, got to. And I just I enjoyed it though, but it was because he was a piece of work. And then I noticed he was a flirt. He started flirting with all the women, and then so I started getting all the attention in the market from the women. So me and Uncle Henry started because and then when they was like, "That's your dad," I'm like, "No, this is my uncle. This is my dad's father. They wife. That's special." So women love to see stuff like that. And then, like I said, Uncle Henry passed. He got sick, but at least I got to know him before he died. But that's it with my father's side. Everybody gone. And that one cousin, she's going through dementia now, the elder cousin in the family. Now my sister, after her, my sister is the eldest in the family. And then it would be my brother that's incarcerated, and then me. So I'm pretty much the eldest male that's on the street, that's amongst the family. I'm the eldest male, 57 years old, the eldest male amongst the family. The one other older male is my brother that's been locked up for 41 years. He has several children and some great grandchildren now, I think. Yeah, some great grandchildren that he haven't met and stuff, but he got some great grandchildren. So I got a bunch of, it's a blessing though. I got a bunch of nieces and nephews that I'm uncle to, and I'm father figure and all that. And that's been a blessing. And the other blessing is I get to kind of break those generational curses. And the one thing, I get to start telling the truth about what's going on. I'm very open with my nieces and nephews and their children and stuff like that about the burdens, having, the issues with alcohol. Part of that curse, it's been generations of alcoholism, grandfather, father, brother, generations. And I'm talking about dying from alcohol. So that's why I don't drink. I stopped 25 years, no, almost 23 years ago, stopped drinking. I now, and I couldn't wait because I always said if they ever come out with some type of beer with zero alcohol, I would like to drink because I like to taste the beer. I just don't want the alcohol. And especially with seafood and crabs and stuff like that. And it ain't even about my religion. Because I believe that I can drink in moderation according to my religion. But the issue is, and this conversation I be having with my niece and nephew, you gotta be honest with yourself about if you can drink in moderation. I can't. I'm a drunk when I drink. Anything I do it extreme. I can be extreme when I do things. And so anyway, yeah, man, I'm tired. I'm hoping. I want to get something. I know social media. I know how at the grassroots level, which the social media sort of is at the grassroots levels, it can kind of push things. Because everybody else that said they was going to help, man, jokers, even activists and stuff said they was going to help, but they ain't been around. I think the mayor got to them or something. I don't know, somehow. But it's like the mayor and them then shut down everybody from helping us. And then, so we already know we got to get somebody with the state or the feds. But then I'm reaching to them and nobody. They like contact them, then contact them, then right. And this morning I got fed up and just went down there and went off. When I took it out on them, I'm like, they got to go. I ran all them out of here. Y'all got to get out of here. I'm sick of it. They called because the girl that worked the desk didn't come in, and the security normally be here in the evening. But when I went down there, they're gonna call the security company, get a security guard in here. I ran him out too. He get the hell out of here. Y'all taking people money, gonna come after me, then act like I'm the bad guy. Get out. Go, because when they gonna tell me, come in the office. When I told you I went in the office, and I'm thinking they taking me in there about the tenant stuff, and come talking about you gonna drop this case. Like, I ain't in here to talk to you about that. I'm like, because I ain't invite y'all in here. Because what she said was, if you coming after them, you coming after me. You coming after us. I said, I ain't invite y'all in here. I said, and y'all came in here and wouldn't talk to us. I asked them to meet the second day they was here. And they avoided me like I was the plague. But not just me, avoided everybody, talking to everybody. Only people they talk to is them crooks that's in office. Because there's crooks still in there. There's crooks still in the office. And so now, like I said, so now this new girl, she trying to cover it up. But I had to, anyway, I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. I ain't afraid to get put out of here, man. But what I'm fighting for is my neighbors, man. And I'm hoping somebody have a heart, somebody that knows somebody that can send somebody, or I'm hoping maybe my social media family, I call y'all family because y'all the people I'm watching and listening to every day, all day. All of y'all that I tag, they the ones I'm subscribed to, and I be on social media. And also I'm watching y'all, learning from y'all, because I wanna create my page, move my page forward one day. So I'll be watching y'all. All of y'all. This, you know what I mean? And I'm watching for years. And because I watch y'all on TV, so I don't do a whole lot of commenting and stuff. That's why y'all don't see Zone 15 Media coming through, because I don't do a whole lot of commenting, because I watch on TV. I don't, when you get my age, the phones become rough to sit there. So right now I'm on my computer, my laptop, of course. I don't know, man. So I don't know if I got it out or what. I don't know. I think I can watch this over. This is my first time going live on YouTube. So I called on my YouTube family. I'm hoping y'all can help us, man. Somebody can help us. Somebody knows somebody. Or somebody, man, call me up, do a video chat interview or something, man, and help me get it out. What's going on, man? Because the news media won't help us or nothing. The pastors won't touch it. The pastor up the street, who the sister pastor used to be one of my mothers, under my mother, I tried, and they tell me ain't nothing they can do. They ain't. This the crazy thing. Until there's a church that I joined now. The church I joined now, until I got there, every church that I had been at asking for help, and I'm talking about, I'm a church baby. They know me. I'm talking about most of the churches I went to, they know me. And told them what was going on, asked me help. They said there wasn't nothing they can do. There wasn't nothing they could do. What you think I know we can't do? No, you can. You just ain't. Okay. And because even to the point where everybody said, well, I know a news channel. I know something. Ain't offered me no resource. And here's the kicker. And I ain't think about it till I started going to this church that I go to now, Hopeville. That when I shared what was going on, they did what the one thing the church is usually good for, offered me prayer. And when he did, one of the brothers at the church started praying for me, man. It dawned on me that when I went to none of these other churches, they ain't even at least come in, bro. Let me pray, at least pray for you. And I know one time when I went up CRL, I was manic, because CRL is up the street from me. Yeah, the Ellerslie is right down the street where I live. That's where they committing the crimes. It's right down the street from CRL, Church of Redeemed the Lord. Old York Road is right on outside. So, and at 39th Street, the street is called Wyandotte, where we live. Then CRL is maybe 2, 3, 4 blocks up. I went up there. I was manic though, but they know my face. They know me. Not in the pulpit. I mean, like when the times when I would go there, I'd be up front because I would be with the pastors, the pastor be in the pulpit, and I'd be on the front row, or sometime the pulpit when I went there. And so it ain't like they don't know me. And like I said, and the assistant came under my mother. The dudes there, elders that was under my, church members for my mother. So anyway, I go up there, the deacon, because it wasn't service this day. So the last time I went Sunday, right around. I knew what, go up there, wait for service to go so I could talk to him. And Bishop Stokes got all the police around. You can't even get with him since the sister passed. Tom Huntley knew me. I figured I'd talk to him, but dude was like, "It's nothing I'm reading in." And but it bothered me because I thought about it. Jokers ain't off a prayer, but yeah, back to the dude. I was manic. I go up there, man. I'll never forget how I was trying to tell a dude that we was in trouble down the street. We needed help, and I'm thinking maybe, and he just looking at me, and like, nigga, I wish you hurry up and get out of here. And I almost bucked on him, but I caught myself, and I'm glad I did. I'd have really been in trouble because bro, he might have hurt me. Who knows? Yeah, I was disgusted. But yeah, man, I don't know. See what come out of this. This first time I went live, so on YouTube. I tried to do it this morning when I was protesting outside when the police was here, but I couldn't get it. And I guess outside ain't the best place to go live. It wasn't the first time, and there was sun out, and I couldn't see. I was sweating, and I was manic. I was cussing. I was fussing. I was mad as I don't know what. Police, I'm like, man, I'm not worried. Here, man, here. Excuse my language, man. I'm not a dude that curse. I do pretty good. I'm disciplined at not cursing. And the reason, my biggest thing is, I speak a lot of places, different places, and I ain't never want to curse because I done heard preachers and stuff slip up and curse. And so I've really worked on being disciplined in my tongue. But this thing, ever since I've been manic, I've been cursing. So it's been since last year. I've been cursing since last year. But now today I'm cursing up. I'm cursing it's like I can't even stop now. Just like right now, because I told myself, because this morning I was cursing like I don't know what. So I'm going to delete that thing on my Facebook page. Plus, it was the audio was blurred in the middle. It was a lot I got out. I'm mad I got deleted, but I ain't leaving it there like it is. And anyway, so I normally do backdrop, and all my my sound good. I done got compliments from others. They be like, okay, I see you. So, because that's the one thing I've been doing is setting up the equipment and stuff. But this here, I just came in the house, and I should be asleep. I'm going to go to bed. 4 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I was manic. I ran their security off, them off. They left the maintenance man and the janitor here because they know they were the ones we like. They know the ones we like that we ain't, they ain't the thieves. They ain't get the cut. We know who get the cut though. Who was and is, whatever. But yeah, man, help me get it out, please. It's a freaking late fee scam. I never had heard of it, but what it was, Friday, when no, not Friday. No, today's Friday. It was, so Tuesday was the holiday. So Wednesday, that's what got me off. The holiday. Woo! The holiday got me off. I keep thinking Monday was Friday. So Tuesday was come back day from the holiday. And what was I saying? God, see, I lost my point again. That's why, man, I got to get my brain right. Look, I got a lot, man. I'm excited. I can't wait. I think I got some things to bring to to add to content creation, man, to bring to the community, but I need to get my brain right so I can remember and stuff like that. And then I want to, like, I want to debate. I want to debate Anton Daniels. Anton Daniels. I follow them heavy. I love his show. You know what I mean? I don't always agree with him. I like him. I don't always agree with him. He's a Christian man, and his theology, he loves sharing the word, but his theology a little off. And you can't tell him that. No, you can't tell him that. But Anton Daniels, your theology is off, bro. You know what I mean? But other than that, I love you. I love your y'all your work. I've been following you for some years now. Who else? Indisputable. What's Doc name? Dr. Richie. Been following him for years, man. And I love what he do. You know what I mean? He be exposing. I'm hoping Doc, come on, Doc. We need some help. You the lawyer, get us some help. Anybody know Crump? Somebody, man. Somebody got to help us. And then there's big money in here. It's a nice old lawsuit. That's the thing. It's a nice, and my lawyers, I'm saying, I told y'all I got a lawyer. My neighbors. Now I'm like, y'all, but they don't want to listen. They keep listening to them and they're afraid. But some of them, I done got lawyers since Friday, because of what happened Friday. I made sure Tuesday, when Tuesday came, I was on the horn calling everybody and their mother about what went on. Because they trying now, because this was going on. Now the old company trying to recoup the money the girl stole, because it looks like we didn't pay our rent. But I've been telling them they had a freaking scam going in there. But instead of them come talking to us, and then when they seen mine, no, they had to see mine, and they thought they had me when they called me in the office. The child leaned on me. They thought it was an aha moment because there wasn't no payments on my thing. And I was like, oh, because they like, oh, are you really gonna get honest now and transparent? Stop playing games. I'm like, what you talking about? She's like, that you ain't pay your. I'm like, oh, I said, I know what it looks like. I said, but somebody gonna have something that got some things to answer to. I said, somebody gonna have to answer to that. And that's when they, again, and I'm like, man, I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not dropping nothing, talk to my lawyer. But I'll tell y'all this. I see my goal is to have those that stole from me and my neighbors held accountable, and for y'all to make both my neighbors and myself whole. She said, make you whole. I said, yeah, make me whole, and I left her. And they've been on some bull crap ever since. Yeah, and then come to find out that warning you. Yeah. 4 o'clock in the morning? Really? Yeah, I need to get more strength in here. Okay, just so, yeah, man, it's crazy. I was giving shout outs. I'm done, man. I'm tired because I can't remember people. It's so many of them, but you'll see them. Y'all look at it. That's who I watch. Thank you, y'all, man. If y'all can help, man, y'all know somebody that can help. God daggone Trump. Got call him. I reached out to Trump, Elon Musk, but Trump's definitely. I requested a meeting with the secretary, but every time I hit her, the secretary, her Larry Stewart, something like that. Every time I hit her, it's always the same guy that responds. I don't want to talk to him no more. He on some bull crap. All right, man. I'm out.